Another episode of Show Us Your T.Ds. It's your boy Melky, doing things the Melky way as always, with my brother from another mother, Gooby. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Well, not too good, but I'm doing all right.
Oh, I know why you're not good, but we'll get into that later.
Oh, yes, we will.
Well, we got a special treat for you today. How special, Gooby?
Very special. We got a special guest from the Wow I Had Mustard podcast, Wow Walker.
How's it going, boys? How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man.
I'm super pumped to be here talking football with you guys. It's natural.
It's that time of the year, it's just something in the air that screams football, bantering with your boys, hating them afterwards.
Yeah. Ride or die, emotional roller coaster. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, speaking of roller coaster rides, hey, Gooby, how did you do in fantasy last week?
I did pretty well, actually. I was second in points, but I lost.
Well, my definition of doing well is actually winning. It doesn't matter how many fucking points you put up. So, on that note, in your face, motherfucker. I told you, man. You're always cocky, and what happens? You lose. So I had a speech written, but I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to do one better. It's messages from Gooby on Facebook Messenger. No, bear with me. Gooby, I already told you that you'd won before the second quarter. LOL. This is confirmation. I was already confirmed. It's only week 1. It could have gone either way. Henry's going to be traded. Jen and Lisa won. And AJ Brown too. And Devin. Both of them are coming off my team. Give me Henry and Gordon. No. And so on and so on. And why is AJ Brown so high in fantasy?
No, that's the thing, though. Like, he was so high in the wide receivers. Like, fuck me, eh?
So no overreactions week 1. None at all.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. Maybe.
A little bit. I am still looking. I want to get rid of fucking Henry. He pissed me off.
Why? He's like number 5 overall.
Yeah,
number 5 overall, but he's number 50 in my heart.
What position did you guys draft?
I was first overall.
Oh, what were you, Melky?
I was 3rd, and he stole Henry from me last year because I had him last year, and we changed it to a keeper league. So I kept Zeke over Henry, which it showed, obviously, week 1.
Yeah.
And this guy was gloating, pumping his chest. I got the best team in the world.
You have the best team on paper.
And even Yahoo Fantasy said he was going to go 13-0. But you know what, Yahoo Fantasy? Fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about.
They don't. They don't know shit.
No.
At all.
Man, I've had a best fantasy team on paper, and I've done shit with it.
Oh,
it sucks.
I agree. That was me last year, too.
Yeah.
I had one of the best teams on paper, and I fucking failed miserably.
Yeah, the years that were amazing for me, you just got to be hot on waiver wire like that Wednesday morning at fucking 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Put that transfer in. Like, that's what you got to do. You got to get those one-hit wonders, like the guys who are going to go nuts.
Absolutely.
So yeah, speaking of which, I lost, but there's reasons behind this, okay? AJ Brown put up freaking 3.9 points.
Here's the defense, Melky.
He had 8 targets, 5 receptions, 39 yards. That's terrible. For an elite receiver, that's terrible. Don't pick Titans. Don't just stop it. Whoever you are, if you're listening to this, don't pick a fucking Titan.
All I'm hearing is womp, 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 womp.
Derrick Henry had a great game, but no touchdowns. He had 130 yards from scrimmage, but no touchdowns. Only got you 13 points. It's all right, but man, when you're predicted to be number 1, number 2 overall in the draft, you gotta fucking perform. You gotta perform. I
Have you
don't
reached
care
out to
if
them?
you're on the Titans.
Actually, that's not what killed you. You know what killed you, buddy? You started Carson Wentz.
But
That's
there's a
what
good
killed you.
reason for that, okay?
Started Carson Wentz, who plays for that pigeon ass fucking team, NFL team that we're gonna touch base on right now, and
Why
that's
do I
why
cheer
you
for
lost.
every meme team? Why, like, I don't get it. I don't know.
Cheer for every meme team.
Yeah.
That's well, maybe because you're a meme yourself. Look at that mustache.
Now, Bob, speaking of
Yeah.
fantasy, you were mentioning you had a good team on paper. So, are you in a fantasy league this year?
I'm actually not right now.
And why is that?
Yeah, I decided to do the whole because of COVID and they were wishy-washy. I was going to save money because I'm in a hockey keeper league still, and I was doing 3 leagues. I'm already regretting this week 1. I really hate this and the fact that I have money in my pocket. So I might just join a random league with people who missed out week 1. Maybe I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's possible, man. And hey, you know what? It's just something about fantasy that just makes football so much better.
Absolutely. I was like, you know what? It's all right this year. No problem. I was going to maybe start up a league with Ashton and those guys. We're going to do a brand new 12-man league, but didn't come through. But now I'm regretting it 100%. I wish I had a league. So I think I will.
I think you should hop on it, you know.
Yeah. Who am I going to be playing, though? Like, who are the other degenerates who missed week 1 and are just doing, like, a random bucket?
That's one thing
Yeah,
I've always watched, like, NFL Fantasy Live or, like, just NFL Network, and I've noticed, I'm like, why are they still promoting it? Week 1's over. Like, just stop promoting it. But they're like, oh, you can still join. I'm like, who wants to join after the first week is over? That's just...
Well, I've never done after week 1, but that's how I started fantasy football. I just was randomly joining leagues for years, and then a couple of guys on Wing Night wanted to do it, so I randomly started a Yahoo league. But
Yeah.
I don't know, go back to my roots, I guess.
I don't know. I feel like it's like being in a sprint. You trip at the starting line. Is there really a point of continuing? Like, you missed week 1. I don't know. I feel you've lost that opening. It's like opening night, man. If you don't play opening night, it's not as exciting.
No.
Yeah. So I've got hockey still, and I'm in a soccer Premier League one as well right now, which is nice with my brother. So I've got something gambling on the line at least.
So I do want to kind of quickly backtrack a little bit. As Melky said, I lost because I started Carson Wentz.
And spectacularly, by the way.
Even if I started the Bills freaking quarterback that I had sitting on my bench, I still would have lost by a point. I think by 1.5 points. Still would have lost. But that being said, you know, Bob, you're a Philly fan. Would you choose Carson Wentz over Josh Allen, knowing that Josh Allen has Stephon Diggs, who they haven't trained well because of COVID?
No. If I had both those, and this is a diehard Eagles fan week 1, probably would have done Allen because that division is typical division, but also a bit different now with Brady gone. So Buffalo, I think, is going to be tied for first or fighting with New England Newton, depending on how he plays. But Buffalo is definitely a playoff team. I would have gone with Allen for sure. I didn't think Wentz would be that bad. I'm not going to pretend like I'm, negative Nancy there, but
definitely the 2 interceptions kind of killed me. I think I think it's -3 points per reception, right?
Yeah.
You lose 3 in our league. You lose 3 points for interception.
Oh yeah, so so 2 interceptions dropped me 6 points. But
yeah.
I do want to go into this little banter that we got. You know,
before you start that, you have to realize that the Buffalo was playing the Jets, the lonely Jets.
That's what I was getting to.
I understand Washington isn't any better, but Washington's ceiling is a lot higher than the New York Jets.
Jets are odds-on favorite Jets are the odds-on favorite to lose their coach first, man. That should tell you everything. So.
Oh, Gase is gone. Adam Gase is gone. I give it 3 games and.
But I just want to say, how, as a Philly fan over there, me and Melky are Cowboys fans, but as a Philly fan over there, how do you lose to a team that doesn't have a name? Like, what is this?
Dude, that's what I'm talking about, okay? It's the same thing like when it comes to the Leafs and hockey. It's a meme. Who would be the first team to lose to the goddamn Washington no-names? Yeah, Philly, obviously, okay? I get it.
You know what they call them on NFL Fantasy Live? They call them the football team.
Yeah,
they don't say anything. They don't say Washington. They just call them the football team.
Isn't that their official name though right now? Just the football.
Yeah.
And the owner Snyder even said that if he might just keep it this way too. Just keep it the football team.
Well, why?
Terrible.
He's an asshole.
Well, yeah, he is the biggest douche in the universe. But I got a question for you guys. Would you rather be called the Browns or football team?
I would rather be called the Browns.
Yeah, fuck. The Browns is shit, and I almost want to say football team, but it's like, man, football team. You're just the EA generic team that you just press random on. Like, well, put some effort into it.
And
that's who we lost to.
Lost.
You did, and you also lost spectacularly. By the way, I know we lost 2 in week 1, but it was a huge silver lining. Knowing that you guys had a 21-0 lead and you blew it to a no-name fucking franchise. Bravo.
Bravo.
You know what? It's like I felt better knowing that you guys fucking lost, and then I realized, oh wait, we're playing the Rams this week, so we'll see how it goes. No defense of the Eagles. What I will say is our wide receiver rookie looked great, Rhaegar. So that's a huge plus for me. The one shining light. Eagles fans were getting Miles Sanders and Lane Johnson back. I mean, that's not bad. So I don't know, man. Carson Wentz, that year he was going to win MVP. And then he got injured. And I watched that game and I turned and I'm like, it's over. The season's over. We're fucked. I did not think Nick Foles was going to go on the run. There's just no way I would have known that. But ever since Foles won the Super Bowl and kind of took over the team for that year, Wentz has lost his confidence, or I don't know the injury, but he's got to pick it up. He's not a rookie anymore. There's only a little bit of time left for any kind of defense for the play. And I don't know. Fuck. It was Washington football team. The Washington football team.
What really digs it in though, I'm gonna say, is when I was watching the pregame of the Monday Nighter for the Giants game, every single announcer agreed with one guy, and he goes, the Giants have nothing to lose. Literally, they have nothing to lose. Because if they win, cool. They're tied with Washington. If they lose, all the other teams lost too. And Washington's on top.
Think about it.
We all know Washington's not going to stay there.
Oh, maybe. With this division the last couple of years, I don't friggin' know, man.
I mean, pigs do fly, right? According to The Simpsons, so I guess anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean, there's always hope in the offseason for America's favorite fucking team, right? Is there ever a team more hyped up every summer that this is the year than the fucking Cowboys?
Don't be jelly, man. Just because you're a team.
Jelly. I have a Super Bowl within the last, how long? I'm okay. The Eagles did it.
And how many do you have, sir, collectively?
Okay, yeah. Well, great. You remember all the old ones? No. Literally a couple years ago. You guys have Dak Prescott's contract. Ezekiel Elliott wearing half a shirt. That's good. That's
Hey,
cool.
What they do on their off time, and Zeke pulling shirts down and going to Cabo, that's their own damn business, all right? Like, don't be concerned, all right? Just
we'll see you week 8.
We shall.
We'll see you week 8, and then let's see who's talking.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
Speaking of, so I just want to know how long have you been a bitch ass pigeon? I mean, Philadelphia Eagles fan. Like, were you originally an Eagles fan? Did you translate? Did it translate to later? Did you get dropped in your head? Like, please tell the viewers and listeners why.
So I was 11, 12. It was 1999, and my best buddy had just became an Atlanta Falcons fan.
Michael Vick?
Yeah, and he loved Warwick Dunn. So he had that jersey, and I'm like, okay, we're little kids, so I'm like, I got to get into NFL too if my buddy's into it, and I liked it. I was an Argos fan, and I kind of liked the Bills. Well, I was a little kid, man. You got to learn as you grow, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Canadian in the CFL over here.
Yeah, and I cheered a bit for Buffalo too. So I was thinking, I don't know who I'm going to choose, but I saved up money from my job, and I was going to buy a jersey at that Sports Obsession store. Do you guys remember that place? Or I think it's still open.
I think it's still open, yeah.
And it came down to a couple of teams. I was going to maybe go for Baltimore because I liked Lewis and I liked the purple.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was going to maybe go for Jacksonville just because I liked the jersey.
The colors are dope.
Yeah. And then Magic happened. And I was watching the draft, and I watched Donovan McNabb get drafted and booed. And I loved it. I'm like, why the hell are they booing this guy? Because they wanted Ricky Williams, right? That was the prize. You wanted Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
So they booed him, and everybody, my dad's like, typical Philly fans, classless. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they got a sick jersey. Why not? Let's go for it. And that's how it started. I went the next day, bought the green McNabb jersey, and we were off. And actually, I loved my favorite player, really. McNabb was great, but I like Brian Dawkins. That was my guy.
Yeah, legend.
Yeah.
But so you bought the green one, right?
Yeah, I bought the green, and then I went full.
The baby shit green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like whale bark. Like.
Yeah, but you know what? I was the only guy, an Eagles fan, except for my buddy Bennett. We were the only two in the entire high school. And then the year we got Terrell Owens, I remember coming first day of school after summer, and there were so many Philly fans in Philly jerseys. It was insane.
Of course, bandwagon jumpers. Right?
I'm not gonna lie. I have a Terrell Owens Cowboys jersey myself.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Philly jersey there for a second.
I did too. You were about to get kicked off your own podcast.
Yeah, I'm like, no way.
I will personally never buy an NFL jersey from another team.
Yeah, I can't say the same thing.
Down. But going off of kind of what you were saying about, Donovan McNabb getting booed, there was some booing going on in the NFL this week, wasn't there?
Yes,
the Thursday night game?
The Thursday night game. What are your thoughts?
Great transition, man. Fuck, that was really good, Gooby. I don't know. I think it's a mixture of a bunch of stuff, man. Obviously, they're assholes, like, in the crowd who are going to boo, but from what it seems like, there's a combination of stuff, the team coming out, the announcer. I mean, obviously, there were people booing for the action. You're not going to just say, but I don't think it was everybody, and I think not that it's overhyped. I just think we're in a really sensitive time right now where it's really easy to blow this shit out of proportion. So,
yeah.
Yes, there were people booing and being assholes. Absolutely. And you know what? If you were in the stands with them, tell them to shut the hell up. But
yeah, and I kind of sorry, Mo, to cut you off. Like, I kind of agree that I wouldn't say it's a lot. You got to remember though, the capacity that was there was only like 12,000 people compared to the normal. So you're going to hear those boos over the cheers because there's not that many people out there. So, it could have just been a handful of people, but still, man, that's just disrespectful to me.
Well, it's America at its best. And I mean, it sucks because not all Americans are like that, but everyone has an opinion. And like Boss said, it's a sensitive era that we live in right now, especially what's going on. So it's to be expected.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And how many guys came out, just Gooby, to that one point you made, talking about like Belichick and all these players that it feels like practice. It felt like a Tampa Bay home game and all these chirps. So, that does play a huge factor with the sound, the crowd, what's going on, the atmosphere. It was a pretty, not that I'm defending anybody, but it's just like, obviously they're assholes, but it was a pretty impromptu, not really put together, it seemed like, action, not taking away from the action and the sign of unity, but it wasn't something that looked like really planned that the crowd like knew was coming and they were getting all fired up in their redneck ways and getting pissed off. So
A couple guys started it and other people were like, you know what, let's join in kind of thing, right? Like,
yeah. And then you hear people that were there at the game in the crowd saying that they were booing the people booing. I don't know why they thought that action would help it and not just increase volume, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Before we get into our next segment, or if we have anything, I just got a this just in moment.
All right. Dinner.
And pretty much a this just in. Nick Chubb, Tyler Lockett, and DeAndre Swift for Derrick Henry and Robert Woods.
Ooh, is that from Alan?
This just from Alan? From Alan.
Okay, so wait. So that's a trade. Okay, so what are you getting?
I would be getting Nick Chubb, Tyler Lockett, and DeAndre Swift.
For?
He would be getting Derrick Henry and Robert Woods.
Oh, he's pouncing week one, man.
He's pouncing on that.
He's taking advantage of.
I'm pissed off that Derrick Henry did not do well.
He's taking advantage of you, bro. He's
I'm probably not going to accept it, but they know that, I'm ready to trade him away, but I need something a little bit better than that.
Unless I'm blown out of the water. I mean, it's just so in my favor. How could I say no? I never trade superstars week one, at least. That's me. Like, you gotta wait and play it out, because you might hit the target and it sounds like, I mean, your team would still be great, but if they go off, I mean, Henry's a bell cow. Those numbers he's going to get.
Running back in the league. I know you don't know what my team is, but I do have Christian McCaffrey just sitting there.
Not only that, man, you can't trust.
He has Henry and McCaffrey. Holy shit.
Yeah, McCaffrey was his keeper.
Yeah. How many guys did you get to keep?
One. It's one this year, and next year will be two.
So, like,
you kept one player?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then two next year, because we just started a keeper league. So potentially, if I end up keeping Henry, I could keep Henry and McCaffrey for quite a while.
12 man?
10.
10. And is it standard or point per? What are you?
It's not PPR. It's
yeah.
So it's your standard.
It's standard. That's the one I usually do. Yeah.
But I figure I just throw that out there, guys. That there's a this just in moment right here.
Well,
at this point, looking at that trade, I would be more upset about losing Robert Woods than Derrick Henry. Just saying.
Well, something to ponder, and it goes off what you were saying and complaining about. I'm going to trade Henry. He didn't do anything. Like, why don't you just wait?
Yeah, everybody has their bad games, I guess. And you know what? The announcers did say that Derrick Henry had a really tough time against the Denver defense last season, and it was his worst performance last year. So,
and guess who he's playing this week? The Jaguars. So you know what? You might want to hold on to that motherfucker.
I might want to, but speaking of good.
Sorry. Plus, you don't want anyone from the Browns right now.
How about that?
The toilet bowl of the fucking USA.
Yeah, Team Hulu right there. Baker Mayfield.
Team Hulu.
But they're already. I just saw a thing today that they're already talking about trading Odell.
But the problem is, it's not him. It's Baker.
Of course it is.
Baker is shit.
I feel like Cleveland has had just the run of the mill for quarterbacks when it comes to, them being the all-stars that they're gonna be. Baker Mayfield, freaking Johnny Football. Like, come on.
They're just poor at drafting quarterbacks, whatever is happening in that department. They always overestimate the guy that they're going for. And it's happened for years. Who was that? I'm remembering Brady Quinn from Notre Dame, all those random QBs they tried to take over the years. But Baker Mayfield, your window is so short right now to prove that you're still a competent QB because Chubb, Landry, Odell, like all these weapons you're having, and this is the how many yards did he actually get total that game? It's embarrassing.
Austin Hooper, Kareem Hunt, like look at that lineup, and you can't muster
and that O-line. You're telling me like,
and you can't muster. I think he was under 200 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm checking right now.
Yeah, like you can't even muster that. Like, come on.
No. Cleveland, I don't know. You know what? It's one of those teams where I kind of feel for them. So if they did something well, I'd be like, all right, I'm cool with it. But I don't know with Baker. And all that hype, all that shit talking.
I mean, like, if you want to get rid of Odell, the only reason I can really see is because on his downtime, he likes to take Poopy to the chest. But other than that, the guy he's still a talent.
I don't know if I believe that.
I think Baker Mayfield could be good. He just no, don't give me that. He could be good.
I'm not laughing at that, bro.
I think he needs to be behind a all-star quarterback and learn a little bit more because that's what everybody needs. I mean, you know, anybody who's behind an all-star quarterback is going to learn a few things. And they're gonna.
Not everybody gets that.
No, it's true. Not everybody gets that. But I don't know. I'm looking at Baker Mayfield right now. 21 out of 39 attempts, 189 yards.
Yeah, he didn't even crack the 200 mark.
One touchdown, one interception.
You know what, Baker? You should take cue from Tom Cruise. Wear some stilts in your cleats. You might be able to see over people. You're too damn short. You know, I think it's time for a change.
So. Yeah, speaking of change, Joe, I kind of want to go into maybe the next segment of, who's a boom and who's a bust? Who do you feel did well this or last week, and who do you think you should keep? Maybe wire talk.
Is that equivalent to like who's a top and who's a bottom?
Well, we all know Baker Mayfield's on the bottom. So there's one boom right there from me. Baker Mayfield, that's a boom. You get him off your team and you go find somebody else. I don't care if he's the Jacksonville Jaguars QB. You go get his ass.
There you have it. GMs around the world.
There you go. You've been told.
But yeah,
boomer bust. Yeah. All right, Gooby, why don't you start us off then, buddy? Who's a player you think?
I think, and I'm gonna just go with this because he's on my team and I picked him up off the waiver wire week 1 before anything ever happened. I'm going with the Giants wide receiver Slayton.
Oh,
killed
what
it!
A surprise!
Killed it this week.
Spoiler
and
alert.
You know what? What's that? What's that, Melky?
I said spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. The dude put up 22 points. He killed it. And like, you know what? Yeah, okay, Golden Tate wasn't there. Yeah, Sterling Shepard didn't have a game. But this guy's young and upcoming. I think he's going to do well. They might trade him. The Giants like to do that. They like to trade good players. Odell Beckham Jr., sorry.
I mean, the Giants suck too. So, I mean.
Yeah, but you know what about Slayton, though, man? Since Game 5 last year, he has 10 touchdowns, the most in the entire league.
Yeah.
So, I can kind of see where Gooby's coming from. It could be a boom. It could be.
102 yards, 2 touchdowns. You can't say no to that.
Yeah.
You can't say no to that. I guarantee you Slayton probably was, I don't know, in I'd say 70% of leagues. I guarantee you after last week, he's in like 90% leagues now.
Oh, yeah. Well, we all talked about it. Why didn't anyone draft him at our draft? He's a capable player, right? I was looking at him too. It's just I already picked my I assembled my team. So
sorry.
I was gonna say for whatever reason, someone's got to get left out.
Well, that's true, but I remember looking at you during the draft, and I had the last pick, and I was like, you know what? And I told you, I was like, I'm going Slayton. I'm going 100% Slayton. And as I was about to peel that sticker to put it on the board, I looked over and I saw a name I knew. And I think that's the downfall. Is you look at something and you're like, oh, I like that name. That's a good name to have. So I picked up Deshaun Jackson. And I was like, nope. I dropped him. I picked up Slayton the next day.
See what happens when you pick Eagles?
You have nothing to talk about as a Cowboys fan. You're tied with me. Come join me. Come join me in the bottom.
Gladly.
We're all at the bottom, just like Baker Mayfield. So it's okay right now. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna say Slayton's a boom for me. I'd say you pick him up off that waiver wire if he's there, and maybe put him in a flex spot for sure.
Okay, all right.
What do you guys think? Boom, bust?
I think Slayton's a boom.
That's 3 booms here. I think the G-men they don't know what they're doing. Daniel Jones is still feeling things out. Slayton's been a beast, like Abba was saying, like from last year. Definitely flex spot, perfect. If you're on injured, if you have a lot of guys on injured reserve, or you just want to take a chance, why not?
Ladies and gentlemen, Slayton is a boom. Now, if we were in a real good podcast, we'd have explosions going off on our cameras right now, but we don't got that yet. Text coming soon.
All right, Ba, who do you think?
I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go a bust here.
All right, let's hear it.
The great running back Hines.
Ooh.
And here's why. Because they just announced the starting job's going to a rookie running back, Jonathan Taylor. So I feel for Colts fans with Marlon Mack going down. I mean, that's a big one. But you would think, too, Hines, he's always that serviceable. You pick him up like 1 week, a week here, and then you drop him as soon as there's someone else better. And he may give you 1 or 2 good performances, but they're kind of sporadic throughout. There's a couple of games in between the big games. So I've never really thought he was that worth it right now. So I'm going to say bust, especially. I mean, you might as well grab the young running back, the rookie, because, I mean, if he lights it up, boom, there's a guy you're going to have a sleeper.
I kind of have to agree with you. I think Nyheim Hines is like the old Chargers running back Austin Eckler, who did he play behind? I remember
Melvin Gordon.
He did. And you know what? Eckler killed it, even though he was a second. But I think Nyheim Hines is going to definitely be in that mix. I think it's going to be a committee until they figure it out. But I'm going to have to go with Ba on this, and it's going to be a bust if they're looking at the rookie, and if he performs, you're going to be a bust, kid.
And not just running back, but how at any position. How many times have you seen a guy with limited minutes, or he kind of plays through injury or whatever, and he has a little bit of spotlights and then gets overpaid, goes to another team, never works out once he's the guy? That's kind of how I feel about Hines. He's not the guy. He's a guy. He helps the guy, but I don't know. Bust. Melky?
Well, I guess we all enjoy a 3-way because I'm going to go bust as well.
Beautiful.
For the very same points you both alluded to. I knew Taylor was going to be the number 1 anyways. It was a matter of time before he took Marlon Mack's spot.
Yeah.
Hines is just a guy who pushes the chains. He had a hot week because of injury. It's not going to be the same. So he's a bust in my eyes, and not literally though.
No, but you know what? You know what's great about guys like this too is what the people like who's going to be dropped. I'm trying to get my fucking words out, but who's going to be dropped because of him? So check out the waiver wire. That's always great when these guys. There's like a 1A, 1B, and I think the rookie's for sure going to take it. So 2 for 2, all in agreement. Melky, what's a play?
I was gonna say, cue the toilet bowl. Flush him down the toilet. He's down. He's down there with
there first.
Just like the Brown season, man. Just like the Brown season.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go another bust, but I have a feeling we're gonna agree to disagree on this. Robbie Anderson. Here's why. Robbie Anderson always has one or two great games during the season where he's that deep ball threat, and then he does nothing for the entire season.
Dude, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Teddy Tapwater is a nice quarterback, but he likes to keep it short. Tampa is going to be on high alert in the secondary. I feel like it's more of a DJ Moore type of game this weekend. So I'm going to say Robbie Anderson, you had a great fucking week, but you're a bust this week.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with you, Melky. For the exact words you said, I couldn't agree with you more about Robbie Anderson. This happens every year. Now, here's the thing. Whoever owns him the next, like, 1 or 2 random weeks that he gets you over 20 points somehow, awesome. But drop him right away afterwards.
Exactly.
Drop him right away. If Robbie Anderson gives you a good game, it's a pretty good chance you should drop him for somebody else.
Yep. I know it all too well, buddy.
How many times have I had him in my flex spot and he has screwed me over the years, honestly?
Nope, same here, man. When he was with the Jets,
yeah,
screwed me over in a playoff game.
So much promise. He'd make that one incredible catch where he'd go tumbling over the guy and then nothing.
I'm gonna have to agree to disagree, boys.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be a boom. I think you should definitely pick him up. I wouldn't say start him every week. I would definitely play the matchups, play whoever the matchups are going to be. It looks like they're playing Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's in Tampa.
Yeah, it is in Tampa. Tom Brady is due for a win, but we can talk about that another time. But yeah, I'm going to say boom, man. Teddy Bridgewater, he did well. 22 out of 34. 270 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. I can't complain with that. And I guarantee you, because everybody's like, oh man, it's Teddy Bridgewater. He's not going to throw. You're right. He's going to hand it to Christian McCaffrey. Those defenses already know where the ball's going to go. So why not Robbie Anderson? He's going to be open. You got what? Curtis Samuel's out there?
Yeah, but he's always open, and the ball is thrown to him multiple times a game, and he still only has 1 or 2 random games a year that he's good.
Yeah,
QBs are always slinging it to him.
He's good for pulling a hammy or just not giving a shit. And they also have DJ Moore, and that's their number 1.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that is their. Sorry, I didn't mean Curtis Samuel. DJ Moore is their number 1, and you look at the number 2 wide receivers, they always do pretty good when you have a good running back behind them, because they know it's going to go to the running back first, and then they're going to double team your number 1, which leaves your number 2 wide open. Look at Minnesota Vikings a couple of years ago with Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. Everybody's like, Diggs is number 1, but Thielen's the one who made it. Yeah. Thielen was the one that topped the charts every single week. So I'm gonna give a boom to Robbie Anderson, and play the matchups, play the defenses, make sure you slide him into that flex spot. I wouldn't put him as a 1 or 2, but definitely a wide receiver 3 with an upside.
Okay, all right. I got a weird, funny feeling that it might be an injury-prone season this year. We could see that. There could be a lot of changeover going on. So I think there might be some surprises this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Bob, you want to pick the next one?
All right, it's Scooby, isn't it?
Yeah, I could do it. I'm looking at Malcolm Brown. The running back for the Raiders.
No, Rams.
Sorry, Rams. I don't know why I said Raiders. I'm looking. No, you want to know why? It's because I'm looking at the Panthers-Raiders stats right now from last week. But the running back for the Rams. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I can't decide whether it's going to be a boom or a bust. I'm going to say bust.
Really?
I think with the roster they have, I think they're going to be better off throwing the ball. That's me. I don't. They got what? Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. You know, they're slinging all guns. Robert Woods had an amazing game last week.
Yeah.
Too bad it
So-
didn't help you.
No, it didn't. Though you were getting a little scared. I remember the text message. I said Robert Woods ? And you were like, ah.
Yeah, but you know who bailed me out? Big Ben.
Yeah, but what he had 50. Robert Woods had 59 yards in the first 10 minutes. Like they were just giving him the ball, and that's the thing is, you know what? With Malcolm Brown, yeah, he's the running back, but I've noticed the Rams like to do a little pitch back and forth to the wide receivers. It's not always the running back that gets the runs. Robert Woods is definitely getting a ton of looks for those runs. Who else got the runs? Was it
Not this guy.
yeah, that's true. But yeah, there was it I think it was Josh Reynolds got quite a bit of touches for some trick play runs. So I'm gonna say he's a bust on my end.
I'll take this next one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he's a boom, and I tell you why. Right now it's running back by committee, and the rookie Akers looked very shaky in game one. So Brown did his due diligence and then some. So I think it's his job to lose. So I'm gonna go boom.
Yeah. Oh, I kind of like that take there, Melky. That was a good one. Oh,
You don't like my take of wide receivers getting some runs too?
Do I have
I'm
him
on the
runs?
fence right now, but see, I'm gonna say boom. I'm gonna say boom. I'd say with the style that the Rams play, the fast offense, I'm gonna say boom right now. And just like Melky said, it's his job to lose. An easy job to lose, but for right now he has it, and I think he could actually put up some solid. For me, is he a long term? Is he a full season hold on though?
He probably isn't, but for right now, especially if you're suffering injuries, like we have a guy on our team who's suffering some mad injuries, especially at the running back position, and he's a good person to have on your team right now. Ride him until there's nothing left.
Yeah, he's the guy I'd pick up on waiver. I'll say boom.
There you go. So we got two booms in the bus for Malcolm Brown, and you know what? That deserves a little bit of fireworks. There's no explosion, just a little bit of fireworks. But
okay.
I do want to go off of one segment though.
What?
Melky talking about injuries. There were a few injuries this week, especially one that's near and dear to me and Melky's hearts. We're out 6 weeks with our Leighton Vander Esch.
The Wolf Hunter.
Ow! Ow! We are out 6 weeks with was a herniated disc.
Well, I mean, compared to Blake Jarwin's torn ACL out for the season, I mean, I'll take the Wolf Hunter coming back than losing our best tight end. It's pretty shitty.
We definitely have not been lucky with the middle linebacker, outside linebacker situation. Sean Lee, another one, just couldn't stay off the injury list.
He may as well go on disability. He's always fucking injured.
But he was so good. But Bob Walker, you got any injury reports over there?
The main one I had was like we were talking about Marlon Mack, torn ACL. That's just
no, torn Achilles.
Torn Achilles. That's right.
Yeah.
ACL, because you just said that because I'm a fucking retard.
Oh,
so that's a huge blow for me too. So that I'm glad we brought up the running back situation, because that was one that I was pondering with the news that came out. So Colts is always that team. You know what? I don't give two fucks about them, really. I have no ill will.
You know what? I kind of agree with you, even though I do have T.Y. Hilton sitting on my bench.
I had T.Y. Hilton before, man.
I was hoping that he was going to have a great season this season with freaking Phillip Rivers. throwing the ball to him. I'd say definitely maybe a Hall of Famer quarterback, even though he doesn't have a Super Bowl. But I thought that T.Y. Hilton would definitely have a year. But yeah, that injury, that's gonna kind of counteract what I said about the whole Malcolm Brown situation for the Rams. Is with their top running back out, are they gonna start throwing the ball more now? You think?
Well, I'm just thinking about the pressure that's going to be put on that QB right there in Indianapolis. Like that's
old man.
Your whole game plan changes, man.
Yeah.
I feel like it not necessarily because they drafted Taylor for a reason. Because if you looked at any of the projections in fantasy, Taylor's ceiling is a lot higher than Marlon Mack. Yeah, obviously having the two of them together is like a double-headed dragon, but Taylor was going to take that spot. So I mean, yeah, it's a huge loss for the Colts losing Mack, but I think it's Taylor's show. It's a Taylor show now, and I think Hines is just a security blanket.
Oh. Yeah. See, I've been focusing on a more positive injury aspect. Like I said, Miles Sanders coming back from my boys Philly. So we'll keep. Oh, you guys talking about Sean fucking Lee? Let's go.
On that note, Ba had an awesome idea to end the segment. So take it away, brother.
Yeah, so I guess I'm introducing this new segment for you guys. Whatever the guest stars in the future, it's going to be called Toonie Bets. So all three of us, we're going to be betting a toonie, and whoever else in the future is going to join. We're each going to choose a game of the week, who we think the winner is, and why. We can give an explanation. And then the winner who calls it pretty much exactly is going to get the $6, the math guy right here. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So why don't you start it off with your pick there, Ba?
Well, you know what, Gooby? You've been talking about him so much. My game of the week is going to be Jacksonville at Tennessee.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm going to make you happy, Gooby, because I'm picking Jacksonville. I'm picking Jacksonville to win.
Quick, get him while it's hot. Trade. AJ Brown, they're on my list. Come pick him up.
I feel a connection to Gardner.
Oh, yeah,
connection. There is something magical in the air there. And
magical in the air is magical on his lip.
There's something magical about that cookie duster, definitely.
Yeah, so Gardner was what? I actually had the stat here. Hold on, just so I can sound like a brainiac.
While you're trying to think of that.
Week 1 completed 95% of passes.
Okay.
Not only that, the only running back in the league week 1 with 100% workload. Yeah. And he performed at that. Maybe he'll regress. Absolutely. 100% workload. But come on, right now, week 2 going in. And like you said, I think Tennessee could be off to a rocky start. We're going to see where that team's head at and if they can kind of take the pressure of being down and coming back. But for right now, week 2, with the surprise with Fournette gone, I'm taking Jacksonville.
Wow.
Oh, very nice. You heard him. Come on.
Yeah, James Robinson, I'll say 2 touchdowns running back. Why not?
I just want to know, though, is their quarterback, is he the full-time job as a quarterback, or is he a full-time job as a porn star? I just want to know.
That's how incredible he is. He does both.
I was going to say, can he do both?
Can he? Yeah. The hours of those two professions don't really overlap, so you can do
it. All right, Goofy, what's your Toonie bet of the week?
Game 2, let's go.
My Toonie bet of the week, game 2, KC versus the Chargers.
Oh.
And I am I'm skeptical, but you know what? I'm gonna have to go with the Chargers on this one. I want to take a little bit of an upset.
Ooh.
That is an upset. That is an upset.
It definitely is an upset. I'm liking the look of the Chargers. Tyrod Taylor, yeah, he's fresh into that team, but I think he did an outstanding job last week. Their running back, Austin Eckler, he's performed very well the past few seasons. Like I think we were talking about how he was performing well as a number 2 back a while ago. Now he's a number 1, and I think he's performing really well. And then you got the wide receivers, Keenan Allen. Can't go wrong with Keenan Allen. But yeah, I really think it's going to be an upset. I look to see if you have him on your team. By the way, look at Mike Williams. I think he's going to have a hell of a game this week. I think he might pull out maybe 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wow, that is an upset. The fact that none of us even talked today, we didn't even have the time to talk about Clyde Edwards and what he pulled off for Kansas City.
No one wants to talk about Clyde Edwards.
Guess who has him on his fantasy team?
No one wants to talk about.
He was a great consolation prize to losing Henry.
Yeah, that's awesome, Melky. I don't know, Gooby. I don't know if I can agree with you. I think it's awesome if you pull it off and win. That's crazy. I'll give you major props on the Mustard podcast for sure. But I don't know if I can see the Chargers taking off KC right now. And hold on. Here's the biggest thing. Have you even thought, what if Andy Reid can actually see the field? Can you? You're screwed. You're screwed. He won and he couldn't even see.
You know what he needs? I think it's the Rams head coach has a pullback guy, don't they? Where like he follows him. Yeah. Andy Reid needs a squeegee guy just to fucking just squeegee that down every once in a while. that little face mask he's got going on there.
Yeah. He's the walrus for a reason, right?
Yeah. Melky, Toonie pick.
Let's go.
All right, so I got probably the easiest game of the week. I'm going with the 49ers over the lonely Jets, the goddamn Jets.
And you're taking the Jets. You're taking the Jets.
I'm taking the 49ers. I'm not being stupid here. Niners lost their first game. Porn star Jimmy didn't look great, but he did just hand the ball to Mostert. Sorry, I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but he's a beast.
Mustard.
There you go. They just signed Mohamed Sanu to replace Debo for the time being. Kittle's only sprained his knee, thank God. I was on my hands and knees begging he was okay, and the man came back.
Someone said Kittle was going to do better than Travis Kelce.
Who won, buddy? You just got to remember. A dub's a dub. And yeah, so this is my lock of the week, and my lock is so big it's the size of Gooby's ass. So lock it in, boys.
I got a big ass, so.
Okay, so we've got Jacksonville. We've got a crazy upset with the Chargers. And then we've got Melky with that final third one right there. That's beautiful. Okay. So that's a new tune. I'm glad that I could bring a new program to you guys, and you're going to have it every week now, the Toonie Bets. But I'm curious about something now, because this is my first time being on here. I want to know a little quick Super Bowl prediction week 2. I want a long-term prediction, shoot off the hip between you two.
Okay, well,
what do you think the matchup's going to be?
Well, we did our prediction in the first episode.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us your prediction first, and then we'll tell you ours. And Gooby, I'll give you this one veto. You can change your pick from episode 1 if you like.
Who did I pick episode 1? I don't even remember.
Yeah, wait. Tell me your two. Tell me your two right now, so I don't overlap.
So my Super Bowl pick was Tampa versus Baltimore.
You chose Tampa?
I chose Tampa. I jumped on the bet, but what I did say was Seattle is a very, very big dark horse. I said if anyone's gonna come back this year and prove the naysayers, it's Russell Wilson.
Yeah. That's so okay, Gooby. That's funny you say that. Okay, go.
I don't even remember who I picked, but I'm gonna go.
Melky.
What?
Who was his pick?
He went.
Because I actually don't remember at all who I picked. I'm gonna go with my gut, and I'm gonna say San Francisco 49ers takes it.
He said San Fran. He said didn't you say it was the rematch?
Were you going to say
I-
rematch?
Yeah, he said it was a rematch of last year's Super Bowl, and he took San Francisco for redemption.
Yeah, I think they have a good overall team. Their defense, I'm going to say number one, number two in the league.
Yeah.
The old saying, man, defense wins championships. I think they can pull it off. They just got tweak a little bit. Porn star Jimmy definitely got to work on his game, but I really think that San Francisco can definitely pull it off.
Okay, well, I was going to do the rematch because that's the easy call, and I think there's a really good chance of that happening. But just to be different and in honor of Melky winning week 1, I'm going to go Seattle versus KC for the Super Bowl.
And do you like Seattle over KC?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, our boy Russell Wilson will go back to the promised land.
You know what? I think that's a good pick because Russell Wilson looked fire this week. He had the most points in the in fantasy this week.
Number
he
one.
Is consistently one of the top QBs year after year, and I honestly do not even think he gets the credit that he deserves.
No, not at all. He always he's an afterthought because of his height, because Pete Carroll likes to run a lot, and it's always the defense that gets the focus from the Legion of Boom back then. But Russ, man, that arm, he's got a cannon, and he's got weapons this year too. So I said from the beginning that's a sleeper for me. Like, I could see Seattle being in the Super Bowl this year.
So wait, none of us are picking Tampa Bay to go anywhere?
I said Tampa, but
yeah,
I just said
staying with Tampa.
I sticking with Tampa, but I just said
Tampa. Sorry, I did not hear that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm still sticking with Tampa, but I would not be surprised if Brady is getting his colonoscopy after Seattle thumps him in the conference finals. Or
so, speaking of Super Bowl predictions, fans, no fans, full capacity or half capacity?
Man, it's almost so hard to say right now because I have so many people at work and in my life who are like freaking out about wave 2 coming with kids and what have you. So I will say the NFL, they know their audience and what they're doing. I'm going to say limited fan experience.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same route. At the end of the day, it's your health that matters. They're not going to spread the virus or potentially spread it, at the risk of making mad amount of cash. So very limited. I'd be very surprised if it's half capacity.
Yeah. There's a better chance of Detroit actually catching a pass or winning a game than there is of a full stadium for the Super Bowl.
No, Matthew
Did
Stafford.
you see that? Did you see that, by the way, the Detroit game?
No, I didn't watch that.
The highlights at all that dropped past
the Swift, yeah, that would have won the game.
Okay, why does Matt Patricia still have a job?
Should have been fired last season. I don't know.
There's a lot of people that should lose their job from last week.
Dude, Jim Caldwell, who was the coach before him for Detroit, was fired for having a record of 9-7. Matt Patricia since then is 9-23-1.
Yeah.
Why does he still have the job? At what point? Like, how many years of Stafford do you have left? I know I'm going off on a tangent quickly, but like, come on.
Like, come on.
Like, come on.
I do want. I know one little thing though. If anybody should be fired, it should be the ref of the Dallas game that was not pass interference. Fuck you.
I'm a Cowboys fan, and I'm going to say that McCarthy should be fired for not going for that field goal with 11 minutes left. Like, come on.
But anyways, that's another topic. I think that's another podcast.
Yeah.
Well, that's for the next one. And on that note, honestly, brother, thank you for helping us rattle some cages. Looking forward to
appreciate it.
Yeah, looking forward to when we do our mustard podcast as always. Tell the viewers or listeners where else they can find you. Are you doing anything else besides mustard? You have anything on the horizon?
we might have something on the horizon. There might be some things in the work. The Wow I Had Mustard is my main focus, but you guys can find me with Anthony on the Blue Jays podcast like normal. Once the Leaf season starts up, we're going to be doing our Leafs talks all over again. And I don't know. I've been thinking more of sports aspect. There's a lot of stuff we want to cover. So there might be some stuff in the future, but Instagram, Ball Walker. And like I said, I'm with these two beautiful boys on the Wow I Had Mustard podcast.
I definitely appreciate you coming on, Bob. You know, we'll
Thanks,
definitely have you back on again.
100%.
I'll wear my Russell Wilson jersey if I come back on.
Oh no, I was gonna say you could wear that Fitzpatrick behind you.
You can't wear that anymore.
So besides Philly, I know we're ending, but besides Philly, Fitzpatrick, I have never bought an NFL any apparel, jersey, hat, whatever that's not Philly. I own about 14 different team NFL jerseys that I have won at Monday night like wing raffles. I don't know why I keep winning. So I will wear a Russell Wilson one for the next if you guys ever have me on.
All right. I appreciate it.
Gooby,
boys.
Any last words?
Other than, if you guys got comments, if you guys got sleepers that you guys want to send our way, or any waiver wire pickups that you think are a great choice, send it our way. Right now we don't have a Instagram for this podcast, but send it to the Wow I Had Mustard podcast Instagram. Shoot us a message. We'll hopefully get back to you within a matter of a couple of days, and you might see your picks up on here.
Hopefully some Dallas Cowboy or shit memes. Send them all the way here. They love them. Anything that rips on Dallas Cowboys, please send it.
Hey, bad publicity is publicity. We don't give a fuck.
Any publicity is good publicity.
That's it, buddy.
Typical Dallas.
On that note, guys, have a great one. And remember, everyone, milk does a body good with a side of goobs. Ciao.